Hi, doll. It's Trish again with the Vision of Beauty. And in this episode, I want to bring you a story about a really sweet and very smart girl. Well, she's not a girl. When we think about a girl, we think about like maybe somebody really young. So we'll say a young lady. How's that? Sometimes I say girl. Sometimes I say young lady, sometimes I say lady, sometimes I say woman, but you know what I'm talking about. We're going to discuss in this episode a story about a lady named TT. Are my T's really strong? I hope so, because in this episode, we're going to talk about TT and everything she had going on that led her finally to love. Hey ladies, are you ready to transform your love life and achieve the relationship of your dreams? Then you've come to the right place. Hi, I'm Trish, your love catalyst at the Vision of Beauty Coaching. On this podcast, I'll share with you how to attract, vet, and maintain healthy relationships. So get ready to write your love story and join the long list of successful women who have found love. TT is what they called her. And TT was a player from the Himalaya. She wasn't really from the Himalaya. She was from Decatur. But TT, she was really sweet. Now, I'm saying she was really sweet. She's still really sweet. But I'm going back to the beginning of TT's story here. So, TT was a smart lady. She was an attorney. But TT turned way up when she got off from work. It was her alter ego. And she would attract all kind of players to the party. She would have this guy, that guy, and the third. TT didn't need no man for nothing. She made good money. And she liked to enjoy herself. She would often run into relationships and then find herself kind of falling for some of these guys. And she would let her guard down. A lot of us have done that. A lot of us date guys and let our guard down. And these guys, they're so good at having a good time. They tell TT everything she wants to hear. With each of these relationships, she kept finding herself on the short end of her money, her time, even some of her friends. She would find herself on the short end of the stick because she would be chasing these men at night. TT liked to be in the driver's seat. She liked to be the one calling the shots. She liked to be the one that was doing the choosing. She liked to be the one that was having a whole roster of men in rotation. TT's philosophy was good for the goose is good for the gander. Now, I've never met a goose, so I don't really know what's good for the goose. But that was her philosophy. And she would play these guys left and right. Now, she wasn't pricking them. TT was not that kind of girl. She had a whole law degree. She can't be out here messing around when it comes to that. She would tell him straight up, I don't really like you, but I'll go out on a date with you. What? She would tell them, we are just friends with benefits, or I don't mind getting in a little bit of an entanglement as long as this doesn't come back and bite me in the end. TT was living life and having a good time. And then she met the right one. Yep, she sure did. TT fell for an accountant. Hey there! Are you enjoying this podcast and want to learn more about how you can attract your forever partner? Then send me an email, info@thevisionofbeauty.com. You can also DM me on IG, The Vision of Beauty Coaching. I look forward to meeting you and guiding you on your path to more love. Now back to the show. In the beginning of their relationship, TT still had her connections. I mean, she was still talking to some of the guys she had in her roster. And she would be, at the end of the day, out to dinner and having herself a good time with some of them. But she met the new guy and she thought, okay, I'm going to kind of like him this time. I'm going to like somebody. I like him. And, he's got a good job and maybe it'll work out. And so they started dating and they were having a really good time. TT didn't really play a whole lot of games with this one. I mean, she didn't tell him, well, you're not that attractive, but I can look at you. I mean, she didn't tell him that. But what she did do was let her guard down. By guard, I mean her player card. She just kind of put it down and she tried to just go with the flow of the relationship. So this guy, it started small, right? Like it started with little deposits here and there, little days off that TT would miss from work because he wanted to hook up. And it was like small little things. It was like she would be traveling to go see him and always her going to see him. He was just playing his hand and he could see that she didn't really know who she was and what she wanted. He was definitely going to cash out on TT, and he did. Now, everybody tried to tell her that this guy was taking advantage of her. Everybody tried to tell her. Her mom tried to tell her. Her friends tried to tell her. I mean, TT couldn't see any reason to stop dating him. It's like when everybody around you is telling you that this person that you're dating, there's something up with him, or he gives them bad vibes, or he's taking advantage of you, or there's something about him. Like when people who, and I'm not talking about people who you may have around you who may be jealous of you or envious of you or hating on you. I'm not talking about those people. I'm talking about your sister, your brother, your uncle, your guardian, someone who loves you for real. I mean, for real, for real. And they're telling you that something's off with this guy. They're not telling you because they don't want things to work out. They're telling you because they want you to watch out. TT couldn't see the signs. She wanted to just try to do it, like have a real relationship. TT was so smitten by the fact that she had a great job, she had a great place, she had friends, she had family, she traveled, she's in the prime of her life, and here's this guy. So why was TT locked up? Yep, she was completely locked up. She was locked up because the car that she was driving, which was actually his car, there were some things in the car that shouldn't have been in the car. We'll just say that. And the tags on the back of that car weren't the right tags on the back of the car. TT got locked up. She went to jail. She was devastated. everything in her world had came crashing down. Now, some people would say, what goes around comes around, and too bad for TT. And some people will say, oh my gosh, I didn't get locked up, but I got knocked up. Or I didn't get knocked up or locked up, but my heart got hurt. Sometimes when we're in relationships that are not suited for us, we end up getting really hurt, like really hurt. And it could take years to heal from all of that, like it took TT. TT went on into herself and she got herself together, and she asked me to call her by her first name, Teresa. TT grew up from all of that, and she started coaching, and she started learning what she needed to learn and unlearn what she needed to unlearn and build herself the life that she could be proud of. No more playing games for her. She attracted the love of her life. She's doing well now. So I just wanted to bring you a little story about TT, well, Teresa, to let you know that if you've been taken advantage of in love and in a relationship with somebody that completely devastated you or almost devastated you, it's possible for you to come back from all of that and start attracting what you really want in this life. But just like our girl, Teresa, she has some splaining to do and some growing up to do. So, I hope that this episode has been helpful for you. I wonder if you've experienced kind of the same thing that our friend Teresa experienced. Maybe not exactly in her situation, but something like her situation. Not knowing how to date, attract, and vet a partner can have severe consequences to it that we don't want to deal with and we don't have to deal with. And if you're interested in learning how to dodge some of those unnecessary speed bumps and things that are not good for your soul, send me an email, info@thevisionofbeauty.com, and I'll email you back. Okay? Bye, doll. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I'm committed to helping driven, successful single women like you unlock your full potential and find happiness in love. So stay tuned for the next episode where we'll discuss more proven strategies. Till next time, more love is on its way.